Hi everyone, my name is Tracy and I am here with my friends for allfreeholidaycrafts.com, and what we do is show you some great ideas for all of the holiday occasions. So I'll put a little link there on the screen so that you can check it out, and you can register for an account. It's free and you can save your favorite projects to go back to at a later time. So it's a really neat little site. So I'm excited to be here to show you my creative style, and I hope that you enjoy my project today. Okay, what I have here is just an array of different things that I'm going to be using. We're going to be creating a little Halloween treat bag, and I wanted to show you how, it's so simple to go and buy the little pre-made bags or, and just fill them up. But being a crafty person, I love to make my own, and I love to take one thing and make something else out of it. Okay, that's what I've done here, just with the regular letter size, or this size security envelopes. And I just take one and I'm going to cut it in half. So I have two bags. If this is not the size that you want, you can cut it off whatever length you want, and then you can make your bag however big or small you want it. Okay, I also have some pattern paper, which is in the Halloween theme. I have some, these are just the plain white note cards that you can get without the lines on them. So we're going to be stamping on that. Be using some decorative scissors. It doesn't matter what style it is. You can use whatever you have. I have a stapler, and I have some ribbon that we're going to be using to make the handle. And then I have these stamps, these little face stamps, and I actually got these over at the Dollar Bin at Michael's this year, which is 2011. So if you like this, you can look for those. If you don't want to do the Halloween theme, they also have just some plain pumpkins if you want to do more of just the pumpkins. And then what I would suggest that you do is just change your paper. Instead of being a Halloween theme, you can do just let me grab just some regular pumpkins instead of it being the Halloween theme. So the possibilities are absolutely endless. And then you'll need some different kind of candy to put in your little envelope. Okay, and then in addition to your face stamps, you're going to also need some sentiment stamps. And I like to use the ones from mypinkstamper.com, but you can use whatever you have on hand. You're going to need an acrylic block to put your stamps on, and then also you're going to need an ink pad. First thing you want to do is we want to seal the back of the envelope. You can do that by sealing it shut with, licking it, or if you don't want to do that, you can use some tape. Okay, so then depending on what size you're going to want your bag to be, I'm just going to cut it in half. If you can't do pretty good with measuring or eyeballing, you can use a ruler or something like that. And actually, wow, I even impressed myself. That was pretty good. I about got that together. All right, then the next thing I want to do is I want to show you how to do this, guys. Depending on how big I want my bag, I just go ahead and, actually, let me do it on this side. I just grab me a pencil, and I just kind of measure it where I want it to be. And then I get my little trimmer out. You can get all these tools at the craft store, or if you don't have one of these, you can use some scissors. I'm just going to trim this off, just like that. Put that down. I want to make a little handle for my goodie bag, and I have just some different colors of rickrack here. You can use ribbon, or you can use string, or you don't even have to put a handle on it. But this is just something that I'm going to do. And I want to do this before I put this pattern paper on, because I'm going to staple it. And it's going to, that pattern paper is going to hide my little staple. So what I did is I just put it right inside, right there, just as close to the edge as I can. And I'm going to put 2 little staples in there. And then depending on how long I want my handle, just going to kind of measure that like that. Get my scissors and snip that off. And I'm going to do this side the exact same way. Just put so much of that inside and get my little stapler. Okay, now our bag is ready to put our pattern paper on. And since I stapled it beforehand, this pattern paper is going to cover up those staples. Okay, so what I usually do is I start in the middle so that I can bring it together in the back. And I want my decorative edge to show, so that's why I'm leaving a little bit at the top. So I'm just going to bring it around and kind of crease it so that it forms around that back. Excuse me. Just using some adhesive and putting that down. There we go. Doing it the same way, just bringing it back around, creasing that so that it forms. And then now I can snip this off. Save that for another project. Okay, there it goes, just like that. And now we have our little goodie bag. Okay, now we're going to decorate the front. And I have my little index cards here. These are just like the perfect size to do little bitty projects like this. So that's the reason why I'm using these. So I'm going to take one, kind of figure out how big I want it. I do a lot of measuring by just eyeballing it. But I know a lot of my crafting friends actually get their ruler out and figure out how big they want everything. And that is okay. To each his own. That's what makes us our own individual crafter. Time to decorate the front of our bag. And so what I have here is just the small index card. And sometimes the hardest part is just to figure out which stamp I want to use. And so I think I'm going to use the Have a Beautiful Day. And these sentiments are from my pink stamper. You can go there and you can check out all of the different stamps that she has. Or you can use whatever you have in your craft supply. And so I'm going to set these to the side. I have my little ink here. And what I'm going to do is sometimes when I'm making something that's just a little bit smaller, it just depends on what supplies I'm using. I'm not going to cut it down until I actually finish stamping. So I'm going to stamp my little ghost here. Just like that. And then here's my acrylic block. These are photopolymer stamps. They cling right onto the block itself. And then I'm just going to stamp this up and put this right here underneath that says Have a Beautiful Day. And I just clean these stamps up with a baby wipe, or you can get some stamp cleaner. Okay, so now I just kind of figure out how I want that, just like that. And I'm just going to trim around this. Super, super, super simple. Now I can always add some shading as far as, you know, using a gray marker or coloring it in, but I am not going to do that. I'm just going to Keep it just like this. Have a beautiful day. One thing I do want to do, guys, is one of the things I like to do, which is my creative style, is I do like to doodle around the outside of my little design, and I think it just kind of adds just a little extra to the thing itself. And so I'm just going to, you know what, I think it needs just a little extra something. I have some orange paper here, and sometimes that's how I create my projects, is I go through and I put it in there and I say, oh, you know, that needs just a little extra something. When you're crafting, guys, you don't have to be perfect, or you don't have to get frustrated with yourself because you don't have all of the supplies. Just use what you have and just let your creative juices flow and just make it your own. So now I am just going to trim this off just like this. Perfect. That's exactly what I needed. Just that little extra something. So I'm just going to use my adhesive. Put that right there, right on the front. And there's my beautiful little gift bag. So now the only thing I have to do is put in some candy. And you have a perfect little treat bag. And if you want it to be bigger, guys, just go ahead and make your envelope a little bit bigger and you can get more candy in there. But this is just a perfect little treat bag for a perfect person. Alright, thanks for watching my crafting tutorial today. Visit my friends at allfreeholidaycrafts.com. I'll put a link there right on the screen so that you can check that out, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye!